everyone, Nova here again from Brighter Outlook Counselling Service with this week's live stream Narcissistic Abuse Recovery question and answer session. Thank you so much for joining us here again this week. It's awesome to have you back. Okay, we are very lucky, as usual. Every second week we have David Demars joining us here live, all the way from Las Vegas in the States. David stays up till 2 o'clock in the morning to join us, and he will be co-hosting the show tonight. So just waiting for David to pop up on my screen, and we can get on with the show. And already we've got Linda Carroll here. Hi Linda, how you going? I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit, guys, because it seems a bit wonky. So just bear with me for a sec, and hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, Linda, hi, everyone. And we've got Georgina Smeaton here. Hi, Nova from Adelaide. We've got Patricia Armbrust joining us from Tampa, Florida. Oh my goodness, Patricia, I remember you saying that you were going to set the alarm and make sure that you were here for the show. So it's awesome to see you here joining us from so far away. And we've got the lovely Mel Lloyd here from beautiful Maryborough, Victoria. Mel is going to put the link up, aren't you, Mel? Mel is the founder of the Australian Narcissistic Recovery and Support Group. And they are just an excellent source of support. They have a closed group and an open group that you can join and just get, I guess, speak to survivors. It's just another forum where you can speak to people who understand what you've been through. So Mel will put that link up, and any of you who are after that extra support, I really strongly urge that you join that group and be able to hook up with other people who get your experience. Yeah. Okay, everyone, as you join, please say where you're from. I always love seeing whereabouts in the world you're tuning in from, and yeah, just say hi. And also, as always, guys, I'm going to ask you to please like and share. We are always trying to raise awareness around narcissistic abuse, and you know, the more people that get on board to do this, the better. You know, the faster we can get people talking about it and get more help for victims and survivors. And we have David here, so I'm just going to let David in. Everyone, we've got Colleen here. Hi, Colleen. And Hannah Louise is there too. Hi, Hannah. Okay, bring David on. Please work. Oh, why aren't you coming on, David? That's weird. It says adding. It's just a bit slow. Hi, Beth. Oh, there he is. Hi, David. How you going?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well.
Good.
Okay. We've got a few people here already. I'm just saying hello to Mel says, hi, David. Hope you're well. We've got Hannah here from Adelaide. Oh, who was that just that floated up? Belle Taylor's here from Sydney. And we've got Patricia all the way from your neck of the woods in Tampa, Florida. So she said she was setting her alarm for tonight. So it's awesome to see Patricia here. Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah. So David, what did we choose? I'll let you introduce the topic as always. What are we talking about tonight?
Well, we're going to talk about gaslighting, and that is a term that came from an old movie, but it means manipulation. It's a form of psychological and emotional manipulation. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because that's something that anybody who has experience with narcissists know what this is, or you will soon learn.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, a lot of when they're going through these relationships, until you know they get, I guess, educated about narcissistic abuse, they don't know what it is, because it happens so insidiously. You know, it comes on really, I guess, just you know, slowly, you know, just a little bit here and there at the beginning when the devaluing starts, and then, you know, the longer you're in that devaluing process and the discard phase, then it just turns into just bold face lies, and all of this is just making you question your reality. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's as small as just simple denial, or it's really, plotting and planning and very, um, you know, nasty. And what this does is it actually causes damage to your head, to your brain. And like you said, it starts small. It starts with just simple denial and I didn't do it. I didn't do what you just saw me do. And then it turns into just complete and utter, denial of your reality. And when you're with somebody every day, and that's the person that knows you the most and the person you're with all day long, um, even when you know what you think you know, and somebody's telling you something different all the time, it really causes damage to you.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's
so
pretty bad.
I guess at the the very beginning when they know they've got their hooks in you, and so they have to start the devaluing process. They might they might start off light by saying things like, "I'll just pretend." Let's say that you arranged to go out one night, and you said said to them, "Don't forget, we're going out on Friday night." No, you didn't tell me that. Knowing full well that you did. And the thing is, they have such conviction, and so you're left there because they are just so convincing in that you did not tell them. They will steadfastly deny it, and you are left thinking, questioning your reality, thinking, oh, maybe I didn't, and the more this happens, if this was just, I guess, a one-off incident, just an isolated incident, you might put it down to like miscommunication, or, maybe someone just misheard something. But with gaslighting, guys,
Yeah,
this happens over and over and over again. And you don't trust yourself in the end, do they? They just, everything that comes out of their mouth, they second guess whether they're, whether what they're seeing or what they're hearing is really true.
right. And it's different. I mean, we all kind of had a boss maybe that's like that. And it's different if you go to work and you have a boss that gaslights you every once in a while. Then if you have a spouse that you live with all day long and you guys have agreed on everything and maybe you share finances and things like this. The more closer, the more attached and meshed you guys are, this kind of gaslighting is just awful to make you second guess yourself all the time, to make you doubt what your reality is all the time. To somebody who doesn't know this or experience this, when you talk about this, I'm sure it sounds like, well, that's crazy. Why would you let somebody do that to you? You know,
That's
but
right.
but in relationships, there is I mean, isn't there a responsibility in a relationship to, be able to look at yourself and say, am I the problem? Did I do this?
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
right. The thing is, it gives, I guess the whole thing behind gaslighting is to, well, number one, to distort your reality, but to create confusion, to disorientate you, so that it just gives them more power. So here you are handing all your power over to this person that you trust. You're totally, like you said, totally enmeshed with this person. So you trust them. So when they are steadfastly denying that something happened, or saying that something did happen when it didn't, because you are so enmeshed in this relationship, you are trauma bonded to them, you want to believe it, and a lot of the time victims will have that cognitive dissonance going on, and they just want to get rid of that conflicting belief, which is, I'm being lied to here. And instead, they say to themselves, "No, maybe I am being a drama queen, or maybe I did mishear, what they said." And it, like you said, it changes people's brains, and it happens so slowly. People don't know that they're being manipulated like that.
that's right. That's right. One of the biggest things I know from adults that doubt themselves all the time is somebody that didn't have support in their childhood, somebody that was neglected maybe. And when you don't have that kind of support growing up, you constantly doubt yourself and what reality might be. And when you're in a relationship where somebody's doing this all the time, you are left doubting reality. You really are. And you could see something, you saw it, but this person that you love is telling you no, that's not true. You didn't see that.
Yeah. I guess that's
You
their whole
understood
aim.
what you just saw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their whole aim is to, it's like that see no evil, hear no evil thing. It's like you didn't see what you thought you saw, you didn't hear what you thought you heard, and you didn't say what you thought you said, or or vice versa. You did see something which you didn't actually see. So they're always just manipulating, just manipulating your reality, guys, until you do feel like you're going crazy. And that's, I guess, the irony of it, or I guess that's an okay word to use. The irony is that they're calling you crazy. They're calling the victims crazy and making them feel this way. And in the end, the victims actually do feel like they're going crazy because they've been slowly worn down until there's no fight left in them. And you guys would know, if you did go to challenge your abuser, your abuser would say something like, "Oh, you're crazy. You're just a jealous, crazy person who's insecure." So that's another thing when you get challenged every time. Sorry, when you get raged at every time you challenge the abuser, it wears you down. So then you I guess you refrain from doing it again because of the cost, your mental
Right.
ability. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's just like the film, or it's like smear campaigns. Smear campaigns are similar. The one person will sit there and say so many bad things about the other person, and it continues and it continues and continues until this other person's totally dysregulated emotionally, totally caught off balance, and then they look like they're the problem. It's their reaction to it. It's the same thing. If you sit there and argue with your spouse over and over and over again, and you fight with them, you soon look like the problem. And it's just like the film. And I think I'm gonna just talk about the film for just a quick
Yeah.
minute
Yeah.
because it actually was nominated for 7 awards. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
And
guys,
it's an old black and white.
sorry,
What's
David.
that?
I was just going to say to everyone, guys, if David's just about to explain the film, if you don't know what gaslighting is, this is what we're talking about tonight. But it comes from this movie in, I think it was 1944 with Ingrid Bergman, and it was actually called Gaslighting. So do yourself a favour and go and watch it. But David's just about to explain, what that whole movie is about, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's an old black and white movie back in the day when we used to use gas to light our indoor lights. Our indoor lighting used to be by gas. And what happened is this guy wanted to rob this woman. I think it was Jules, if I remember right. It's
Yeah,
been
I
years.
think
But
so. Yeah.
so what he does is he's in the house with her, and he will dim the lights. He'll dim the gas so the lights dim, come back on, things like that. And she'll say, "Did you see that?" And he acts like, "What? No, I saw nothing." So the lights dim. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And after some time, she thinks she's crazy because he says, "You're crazy. I think, you okay? Let me get you some help." And then it's all about getting help for her, and she's all crazy, and she believes she's crazy
And
until
he
the point
comes
where
in
he's able to,
that the person
yeah,
who creates, who's abusing her, because this is psychological warfare, this is psychological abuse, the gaslighting. So I guess the person who creates who abuses then becomes, the caring person who wants to, help you because you are mentally unwell. So it's, when you think about it's just despicable, isn't it? You create that in the person so that you can come along and look like a hero and go, they're there, we'll get you some help. It's just despicable.
yeah, yeah. Why the other person has a psychological breakdown. Yeah,
Yeah,
real
yeah,
sad, really sad. And it's common. It's happening all the time. Politicians do it all the time. You know.
yeah, yeah. Give us an
What's
example.
interesting, I want to know
Sorry,
what's
David.
that?
I was just going to ask. I was
I
asking
was
everyone to
wondering how
give us
many.
some examples.
Yeah, I was wondering how many people have ever heard the term gaslighting until you found all this information out about narcissists, because I never have. And I've heard some people have heard this term, but no, I haven't never heard this term until I found out about narcissism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
be interesting
uh,
to know how many people have heard it.
yeah. Absolutely, God. And I guess some examples that that you've gone through in your relationships of, classic gaslighting. I guess, that's a pretty severe case of gaslighting that demonstrates, just how it can wear someone down and destroy someone's life, and emotions and, mental health. But it doesn't have to be as severe as that, guys, to do incredible damage. I mean, I guess the narc's view is if you tell a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. So if they say something, with conviction, and they say over and over again, and they wear you down so that you are questioning your reality, that then to them becomes the truth because they've said it, 100,000 times, so it becomes true. So, gaslighting can be that they can shift things around on you. They might shift your car keys around, and you might put them down somewhere, and they'll come and put them somewhere else. Or they'll tell you that you you said you were going to meet them somewhere when you really didn't. Or they'll they'll deny cheating when you've got this is I guess a classic example. They'll deny cheating when you've got black and white proof that you've put it in front of them. They will throw that back onto you. They will become the victim because you're a crazy, jealous, insecure person who stalks them. And that, I guess that's another way of gaslighting you, is to flip the script like that.
Or think about, I think I know everyone's been in that moment where someone you've had a conversation with has let you know that you accidentally said the wrong thing. Or, you meant to say red, but you said blue. You meant to say this, but you said the wrong word. And they tell you, and when someone tells you that, there's a lot of words in the English that we use that we don't even think about. Words like in and to and the, we don't even think about it. We say things sometimes we don't realize that we said it. So, but when someone tells you that, you instantly stop and say, well, okay, well, maybe I did. I definitely could have. I can't go back and watch it. There's no recording of it. So that moment where you doubt yourself, that's what it is. That's what it is when someone gaslights you and you sit there and go, well, it could be true, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying it's true. It could be true. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I said it. Maybe I didn't say it. Maybe I didn't see it. Maybe I did see it.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody's had that moment.
Yeah, and when you're worn down, that you just don't have the energy to fight anymore, which is the whole idea of gaslighting, really, is to wear you down so that you won't, I guess, challenge them and for them to get the upper hand, to get power and control over you. That's what it's all about. So yeah. Okay, well, we might start answering some questions, David. Who else have we got here?
Great.
We've got Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. We've got Betty B from Melbourne. Hi, Betty. Hannah's here. Hannah says, I've been gaslighted, apparently, what my counsellor said. Looking forward to your intake on this for more knowledge. Well, I'm glad you're here, Hannah, and I hope that you get a lot out of tonight. It's certainly something that every single victim goes through, when they're in a relationship with a narcissist. Okay, we've got Amanda Embra here, says, why can they never admit that they treat you poorly or say that they're sorry? Okay. David, did you want to answer that?
Yeah, it's shame. Shame. Shame is I'm a bad person. And if I have a lot of shame, that's too much usually for a single person to address. It's really hard for people to address their own shame. It's tough to sit there and, at some point in my life, somebody made me feel like a bad person. And it's a real stand-up quality to admit you've done a bad thing and stuff like this, but they can't do it. These people have too much shame to look at themselves. For me to even apologize for one thing can open the door for everything else. I'm sorry I did this. That means I'm wrong. I've done something bad. I may be a bad person, because people that feel good about themselves, can no problem, admit to something they did wrong or made a mistake, or, real common. If I have a significant other, and she feels bad, I say, I'm sorry. And it doesn't have to be, I did it, and I'm not admitting anything. I'm saying I'm sorry because that makes someone feel better. They can't do it. They just don't do it, guys, because it means I'm a bad person. They can't handle it. Yeah.
That also means
Shame.
they're
That's the
weak.
reason they don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
also means they're weak.
Vulnerability.
Mm.
Yeah. Vulnerability. They will never allow themselves to be vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that false mask that they wear is their shield of armor. And if they're saying sorry, or admitting defeat over something, that means that they're weak and vulnerable, and they will never ever do it because their life depends on maintaining that air of superiority and that false mask that they wear. They will never ever admit to being weak, and to say sorry is to be weak. Yeah, that's why.
That's right. Yeah. Doesn't
Okay,
support their ego very much.
exactly. Patricia says, I just wanted to share some good information for anyone interested, something that has helped me gain inner strength. I've been taking, I can't see the end of it, Patricia, but I'm sure everyone else will be able to. I've been taking vitamins, getting plenty of rest, and going out and doing different things. That's all I can see, Patricia. But it looks like, guys, Patricia's got some amazing self-care hints and tips there that have worked for her. So thank you so much, Patricia, and everyone please read the rest of Patricia's advice there because I just can't see it. But thank you, Patricia. That's really, really lovely of you to put that up for everyone. Okay. Belle says, mine used to say to me, how do you come up with this shot? Yeah, of course. Well, that's just totally, negating your feelings. It's saying that what you believe to be true is garbage. And even in the face of, if you, you've probably got evidence, maybe Val, that what they're saying is true and that you're crazy for thinking anything is true other than what they want you to believe. So you can imagine being told this all day, every day, around different issues and being told that you're wrong and that you're imagining things, and having things, the overgeneralizations like you always are a drama queen, or I never, those generalizations like, I never do that and I never lie to you, or, you're so ungrateful, because, perhaps they're putting money in towards the rent or something like that. And you're ungrateful because you don't like the fact that they're cheating on you, and you should be, grateful for the small mercies that you have. All of those things weigh you down, and that's just a classic example. How do you come up with this? Yeah, it's basically telling you that you're nuts.
Here's a classic. Everyone's heard this. Classic gaslighting at the very small degree, but it is just I was just joking. They say something mean to you, you call them out on it. I was just joking. Oh, I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Man, that's gaslighting.
You have no sense of humor. My last girlfriend thought that was funny. You're oversensitive. Why can't you see the humor in that? And, really they're just
take things too
seriously.
seriously. Yeah. You take things just too seriously.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah. Chill out. Yeah. And all the while they're getting out exactly what they want to say. They want to hurt you. So they'll say something awful, to really, really hurt your feelings. And what normal, healthy person does that intentionally, and then retracts it basically by saying, I was just joking. They hurt you. And then when you react normally, they say, well, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you because you can't find the humor in that. And classic example there, David. I hear it all.
Yeah, and it's gaslighting. That's manipulation. It's, there's so much to that. It's I'm not going to validate your feelings. I'm going to dismiss them. I'm going to, or I mean, the classic is just, I feel this way. Oh, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't feel that way. Someone telling you how you feel, someone forming your opinion for you, someone saying, "Oh, this would be better for you." That's classic. You know, this will be best for you. This is the best way for you.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, I don't know what's best for me. I
Yeah.
need you to tell me. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Gosh. Okay. Uh, Georgina is here. Georgina Smeaton. Hi, Georgina. My ex-husband manipulates my children against me and tells lies about me to make himself look like the victim and make me the aggressor. Yeah, I hear this a lot, Georgina. He plays the divide and conquer games with me and the staff as that's all I can see. I'm assuming maybe you work together. What a classic ploy is that within the family with children, David, the old divide and conquer, make you look like the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awful. That is just horrible when that happens.
it is.
Uh-oh.
I hear this a lot, Georgina, where they make you out to be the villain. Perhaps they'll gaslight you and or project on you something to get a negative reaction out of you, and they'll wind you up and they'll bait you and provoke you until maybe you have a normal reaction to that, which is maybe to get frustrated and lose your cool. Maybe you'll yell and, I don't know, just lose your cool. And then, sorry?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were
Oh,
done.
I was just going to say, and then they'll say to the kids, oh, look at your mother, that your mother's going off, let's get out of here, and maybe they'll take them up the road for an ice cream or something like that. So they've baited you, they've provoked you, and then they've I guess, shown your reaction to the kids. So the kids it's being reinforced in your children that you are crazy, that you are unbalanced because they saw it. They saw mummy go off. And then dad comes in, and this can be male or female, the mother or the father. I'm just doing this as an example. But then dad comes in and looks like this wonderful, cool, calm, collected guy who takes the kids out for ice cream. Now, can you imagine trying to explain that scenario to someone? Just imagine if it was a bit, David, it was a bit more severe, I guess, and child authorities were called. Okay, just say you really, really went over the top because you just got so frustrated and you snapped, and child protection was called. Now the kids have seen you, that they've seen you, so they would be supporting the the other parent's story. So that's an extreme example, but this is how dangerous it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great example. And you can really take that example and just go with it. I mean, you know, um, mom doesn't care about gifts. I'm going to give you lots of gifts. Mom doesn't care about gifts. And mom gives reasonable gifts while the abusive father gives unreasonable amount of gifts and makes the mom look bad. Or I'm going to give an inappropriate gift to the child, and so that mom doesn't like the gift, and mom looks like the bad person taking the gift away. I mean, you
Yeah.
could just go with this all
Oh,
day long.
absolutely. I heard a little while ago about a narcissistic mother clashing birthday parties with what the father had organised, and gave the mother lots of notice that he was going to have a birthday party for their child, and she sent out invitations on the same day just to create drama, and and then gaslighted the children into thinking that there was something, that mummy was being malicious. And it's the lengths they go to distort even their own children's reality is just despicable, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Or mom doesn't want to have a happy family. Mom wants the family to be divorced and split up, but I want the family to be together, but mom doesn't want it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's
I
just
mean,
awful. The
uh,
damage that causes.
yeah. Extremely frustrating, Georgina. I can only imagine what you're going through, but yeah, I guess just be the best parent you can be and role model back to your child the appropriate behaviours. I guess learn this, and that's what we hope you learn from this forum tonight, is learn when they're gaslighting you so that you don't take the bait, you don't react. And, then the kids will not be able to see the contrast between, mummy losing her temper and daddy acting like the cool, calm, collected one, because you've been on top of that gaslighting and you haven't given him what he wanted. So, yeah, start to be aware of the signs so that you don't react to that gaslighting. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Really important. And I mean, children catch on. Children become privy to these things where the one parent's always talking bad about the other and the other doesn't talk bad about them. And that's really important, really important. And also the correct way to handle these things, guys. If you think you're being gaslit, you're in a relationship that you're being gaslit, get help. Get help. And professional help, highly recommended, but at least family, friends, tell them what's going on. Tell them why you think you're being gaslit, and let somebody, an outside party, give you some information about it. Because we all know that they isolate us. They isolate their victims. They get you to stop talking to your family and you lose your friends, so that all now that's left is you by yourself, trying to form a reality that, is skewed by the other person. So get some outside advice, at least, if you think you're being manipulated like this. Really important.
Yeah, and that isolation is so it's just one of their biggest weapons, isn't it, David? If you're seeking support in friends and family, then the toxic person doesn't have the degree of power and control over you. So it's no coincidence that you start to see your friends less and less, and the narcissist just, I don't like that person. Why do you hang around them all the time? And perhaps they're gaslighting you. Here's another form of gaslighting, in that telling you that your friends are horrible, and perhaps your friends are saying awful things about you, or your family's saying awful things about you. It's that divide and conquer thing there again, David, where they're gathering in the troops and they're telling you that, everyone thinks you're crazy, or everyone thinks that you're no good at that and you shouldn't have gone for that job, and everyone agrees with me. And what does this do to you? You're sitting there, you've been isolated from slowly and subtly from these people, and now you're being told they all think badly of you. Imagine what that does to your self-worth and your self-esteem. It just erodes. And
if you trust somebody, imagine you trust somebody to live with them, and your best friend comes over and they say, your best friend hit on me, made a pass at me. Your best friend said something I don't like about you when you got up and you left the room for a minute.
Yeah.
That's awful. What are you supposed to do with that? My best friend?
Yeah. It's a great way to isolate them, isn't it? And triangulate, kind of kills three birds with one stone. They're gaslighting, they're triangulating, and they're isolating you. They're pitting you against your best friend. They're gaslighting you by just manufacturing evidence or a scenario. And they're isolating you, because obviously if you think your friend would be cruel enough to do that with your partner, and you're so enmeshed with your partner you're going to believe them, then it's highly likely that you're going to wipe that friend, or not talk to them for a long time, want to punish them.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just doubt. The doubt is there. The doubt is there now,
Absolutely. Those seeds of doubt are just being planted continuously, aren't they? There's just seeds sprinkled out throughout the relationship until you just don't know which way is which.
That's right. You may never come to a conclusion with each of these, but as weeks, months go by of all of this, it's just too much. Your reality is completely distorted.
Yeah, they just manufacture massive insecurities in you, so that it's just all about their power and control, and remaining unaccountable for any of their wrongdoings. Yeah, we've got Venus there, the lovely Venus. Hi, Venus. We've got Patty Colombo here. Hi, Patty. Okay, who else is here? Venus has got, is that the New Zealand flag you're holding there, Venus? Looks like it's very similar to the Aussie one. Hannah says, another long one, so I'll only be able to see the beginning there, Hannah. Mine would lie about drugs and make me doubt it all the time, yet I could tell in my gut that I could tell in my gut, yet I still believed him, even though I found evidence all the time. It drove me crazy, and I was extremely anxious. That's all I can say. Yeah. Did you want to respond to that one, David?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'd like to let you guys know that addictions will always come first. So if you have a narcissist who is also a drug addict or an alcoholic, something like this, that will always come before you. So when in question, they will lie. They will protect their addiction. They will keep it from you, whatever they have to do. So gaslighting is profound in drug addicts, alcoholics. Absolutely. No, you didn't see me. No, I'm not high. No, I'm not drunk. No, it's your fault that I had to go do it again. You know, all this stuff.
Yeah. If you weren't such a nosy, jealous, insecure, girlfriend or boyfriend, I wouldn't have to go and get high. It's just incredible. And once again,
addiction will always come first.
It stops you from wanting to approach them again in the future, guys, because you went through so much, just so much of a head spin and just the crazy making, the self-doubt that you experience. You go through that so much the last time. It stops you from challenging them again because you're so worn down and you just think it's not worth it. I'll just go, yep, okay, and you believe them. Yeah, you believe them. It's easier to believe them than challenge them and go through what you go through when they're gaslighting you. Yeah.
That's right. And when you're so emotionally invested, that's where cognitive dissonance comes in. I'm so invested in this relationship with this person. I can't call them out on some stupid little thing that they're denying, forever and ruin the relationship over it.
Yeah. That's the thing. They're scared of, we talked about trauma bonding last week, David, and we talked about how much pain a lot of people are in when they come out of these relationships because of the trauma bonding. So, when you are trauma bonded and you're being, gaslit in the relationship, like you just said, you're in fear of losing them. You're in fear, and that little seed is placed there. Like, if you weren't so insecure, this wouldn't have happened. So, playing with your reality. So you're scared of losing them. You can't imagine going on with your life without them. So you don't challenge them. It's easier for your emotional health, for that coping mechanism you're using at that time, to not challenge them. Yeah.
And there's typically zero security in that relationship anyways,
Yeah.
No security. Okay. Yeah.
Right, we've got Becky Boo's there. Hi, Becky. We've got Betty B saying, oh, it's their reality. And Mark Silverwood is here. Hi, Mark. Colleen Conway says, you become it because they won't believe you're not crazy anyway. Yeah, well, it's kind of like a state of learned helplessness, Colleen, and you don't have the energy to challenge them. They're calling you crazy, and then you start, because you've been worn down so much, you start to believe that perhaps you are crazy. So it becomes that self-fulfilling prophecy as well. They call you it, and then you become it. It's not that you were like that to start with. It's that's through their manipulations. They have worn you down so that now you feel paranoid. You feel, overly sensitive. You get really defensive. You're hypervigilant. These are a lot of the things they experience, don't they, David, when they come out of these relationships and find themselves in new relationships. They're really defensive. They're thinking, are you having a go at me? they've got that hypervigilance because they had to deal with that gaslighting all the time. This is the overflow and the residual effect.
And didn't know how to deal with it. So you put up with it for so long. Yeah, sure. You're going to think other people are doing it too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Venus says, the gaslighting left me with a sense of not trusting myself. Okay, where did your question just go? Just lost it. Yeah, that's exactly what gaslighting does, Venus. You don't trust yourself. You question your own reality, and as words are come, it gets to the point where you're scared to make a decision. And this is really problematic because you rely on other people because you think I must be wrong. You've been conditioned to think you're wrong all the time. That what you think is not real, so you question your own perceptions in just about every scenario in your life. And you take this
That's
with
right.
you, to work and everything.
That's right. I mean, confidence comes from experience. Without experience, you can't have the confidence. If you have
Yeah,
an experience like this where someone's just drilling that hitting your self-esteem, all this stuff, telling you you're wrong all the time, you're crazy, you don't know what's going on, there's no confidence at all, and you don't have the confidence to stand up to them if that's what
absolutely.
happens for too long.
You, you become paranoid, don't you? You think that everyone else is right and you're wrong all the time, and you just don't believe you're capable. That's exactly right. Your confidence is completely non-existent, and you think that that you'll never be able to make a decision again, and you just don't trust yourself to make any big decisions. And you rely on other people. And this is why another reason why you stay in these toxic relationships, because you've become reliant, maybe on a subconscious level, you've become reliant on your abuser for your reality. That they're steadfast in their conviction, and that they're telling you that black is white, and you're going, well, no, white is white. And they go, no, what you're not seeing things correctly. So they have a lot of conviction, and yeah, you just continually doubt yourself. Yeah,
And I think that helps prove the power of support and what support does. If you don't have any, it's real difficult, almost impossible to get through these things. If you have support, people in your life there for you, it really helps the doubt, erase the doubt. If you've
yeah,
got 4 or 5 people telling you, "Oh yeah, they're gaslighting you, they're manipulating you, don't believe their lies," that's a lot easier than dealing with this all day, every day by yourself. Yeah,
yeah,
and that's why the isolation comes into play again.
absolutely. And that's another reason why people believe the abuser is because the abuser is so manipulative, the narcissist, that they've worn you down and distorted your reality for so long that you do come across as being unstable and, not being able to string 2 sentences together and never being able to make a decision. And people notice that, but they're also noticing that, that the narcissist is cool and calm and there's nothing wrong with them. And they're actually trying to care for you, perhaps. And you're all erratic. So there lies the self-fulfilling prophecy again. Other people are, through the isolation, this is the scenario that they're seeing. You're crazy, the narcissist is cool, and they've got their act together. So, yeah, you
That's
can
right.
imagine.
That's
Yeah,
right. They're very convincing. I mean, get into massive detail of how crazy this person is. You won't believe what they did and said, and you're just like, wow, okay. And then once they hear it, they react to it, and then they look crazy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, I heard a story from a client a few weeks ago about how she was out one night with her toxic partner, and she had a couple of drinks. She had a couple of glasses of champagne, and this is a classic example of gaslighting. The next day, uh, I think he flew into a rage because he was jealous. She spoke to someone else, And he started telling her that she did all these things that she didn't, like, putting her arm around him and kissing him and doing all these things that she had utterly no memory of. And so she started questioning people at the party, thinking, I only had, a couple of drinks, but she was being told with absolute conviction that she did all these disgusting things. And he was basically calling her a slut. And this all came out, all this gaslighting came out of a narcissistic rage because he was jealous, because she spoke to, someone of the opposite sex. And, that's just, I think that's probably something that happens more often than we hear, when people are maybe under the influence and get told they do things that they don't.
Absolutely. Another one I have is snoring. Someone was told for years and years and years, he's a bad snorer. You got to go sleep out on the couch. Turns out since the day that relationship ended, he never snored again.
How
He never snored.
amazing. What a coincidence.
He convinced he was a bad snorer and he keeps her awake every night. So I better go sleep on the couch. She just didn't want him in her bed every night.
Wow.
Years.
It's amazing she didn't send him off to like a sleep clinic or something. She really, really wanted to play with his head. But I suppose
go get surgery. Yeah.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, this is what the links they go to, guys, to make you think that you are going crazy. We talked about shifting keys around, but sometimes they'll shift your car, and say, no, you think that you've parked your car somewhere, and they'll go and shift it and put it somewhere else just to make you think that you're going crazy. This is what they do. Unbelievable.
I had one client that she was convinced, her boyfriend convinced her that her house was haunted. So it reminded me when you said jingle the keys, he would jingle the keys or something in another room and be like, oh my God, you hear that? And did this over and over for years until she thought the place was haunted and realized after the relationship was over, oh, he's been making this up.
Unbelievable. I mean, that just causes that can just cause chronic, that's traumatizing for the victim, and like we were talking about earlier, if it was an isolated incident and you were just trying to, have a bit of a candid camera moment, maybe that would be funny. But clearly that was not the goal, because this happened, that what you just said happened continuously for a long period of time. So the goal, the intention, the motivation behind that behavior was to make his partner, to terrify his partner.
Yeah, she's hearing spirits and ghosts and stuff like this. Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, unbelievable. We've got Tina here, Tina Vanderdrift. Hi, Tina. Tina says, I have never cheated on you. I always subtract the word never if it was ever said. Good, I guess, strategy there, Tina. I always say, whatever they're saying to you, take the opposite to be true, or just believe that whatever they're saying is horrible about you, or that is a deficit in you, is actually what's going on for them, the way what they're doing, or the way they feel about themselves. So yeah, just always take the opposite to be true, because they are pathological liars. Yeah. Guys, there's so many of you here tonight. I just want to apologise in advance if David and I don't get around to answering the questions tonight. Please talk with each other. This is a great forum for you guys to get support. And please say where you're from, because you never know who's here tonight, who's just around the corner that you might be able to hook up with and give and seek support. So yeah, just keep commenting your questions and we will, I promise you, answer as many as we can. Okay, we've got Kerry. Oh, Kerry, let me see. Kerry Cowald here. Haven't seen you, I don't think, we're here before, Kerry. Hi, Kerry. Kerry says, but when I retaliate to him, I'm abusive. Yeah, isn't that the way, David? Retaliate to or challenge them.
Yeah, it's all about the reaction, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I keep using the smear campaign as a perfect example. If I keep saying someone's bad, bad, they're bad, they're bad, they're bad. If you don't do it today, if you don't react to it next week, maybe next month, till it builds up, you can't handle it and you explode. And now look, they're unstable, they're crazy, they're mean, they're vicious, they're abusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they've got an audience, all the better. They love to do it. Like you said, they'll provoke and provoke and provoke, and one day, as a normal, non-disordered person, you react. You might explode, and they just absolutely love it if this happens in front of other people, because then they can come back and go, "See, I told you. There's something wrong with that person." And they'll perhaps they'll video you, or take a photo of you going crazy and go, "See, there's your proof." And yeah, it's very hard to combat.
I had a client, I've actually had a couple clients who their spouse would videotape them and push them and push them and push them and push them while they videotape them. And then the second they react, look, you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy.
How
Imagine that being video recorded all the time.
I, I don't know why I still get shocked and surprised, but I just think, who does that? Who provokes you till you're crying and screaming at them, and maybe throwing a soft toy or something across the room, whatever you can get your hands on. Who provokes you till you do that, and then quickly go smile, and gets the camera out and videos
Crazy.
you. Yeah, it's like,
And then
who's
that, and then and the victim knows it's on camera. I acted crazy for a moment and it's on camera. I hope you don't show anybody. I mean, God, talk about that blackmail, man.
Absolutely. And the thing is, the victim will often have no comeback, because the victim has empathy. So if they see, the narcissist crying, or, really upset or emotionally distraught, an empathic person will be there going, "Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Come here. Let me cuddle you. What can I do to make it better?" Their first thought won't be able to get out, the video, so they can, whack it on Facebook the next day. It's just incredible,
Yeah.
so that the
Yeah,
victim.
well, I told you I told you you're crazy. So finally I got it on. I recorded it. That's why I did it. Yeah, just to show you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So in case you didn't
Yeah.
know, here's the proof. Yeah. Gosh. Uh, okay. Who else have we got here? Maxine Green's here. Hi, Maxine. Maxine says she's still hurting from emotional abuse after 6 years. Oh my goodness, Maxine. Just keep engaging in self-care and validating your experience, Maxine. And above all, make sure you're having no contact with your abuser. Don't dip your toes in the abuse. Don't look at them on Facebook. Don't ask people about them. And keep doing things that that make you feel special. Find a passion in life, and keep talking to people. Don't isolate. But yeah, it does hurt. It's incredibly painful, this type of abuse, but you've got to work at it. The healing. I was telling someone today, it's not going to fall into your lap. You have to work at it, but it can be good work. This can be the best thing that you've ever done. Yeah. Kerry Cowell. Hi, Kerry. Kerry says, mine constantly accuse me of cheating with no evidence to show me. Yeah. David?
Oh man, that's common. That is so common. And they'll accuse you and accuse you and accuse you year after year. And you do that long enough, and I'm not saying it's okay, but some people will go cheat. It's amazing, but yeah, that's so common. That's so common. And these, insecure people, which narcissists are so insecure, they think you're going to cheat. And cheaters think people will cheat. Liars think people will lie. Thieves think people will steal. So when you're being accused of cheating all the time, there's something very wrong in that relationship. Obviously, the security isn't there, but there's something wrong with somebody who's constantly accusing you of cheating when you know that you're not.
Yeah. It's just projection, isn't it? Like, you know, so many narcissists cheat, certainly all the somatic ones. And this is just them, like David said, cheaters accuse you of cheating. So they know they're capable of doing it, or they are doing it. So they think that you must be doing it. Or even if they do, even if they know flat out that you're not doing it, they will accuse you of doing it just to gaslight you. Just to get you
That's right.
reacting and trying to defend yourself and prove to them that you're not. So once again, you're
Right.
scrambling to please them. Yeah. So
And here's another form of gaslighting. Here's a very common form of gaslighting. This is so common, is there's already been a situation that you guys have discussed, and it might be cheating. Maybe you're being accused of being flirtatious at the New Year's Eve party on New Year's Eve, right? So it's brought up, you talk about it, you think everything's okay, and then in June, in the summertime, they bring it up. Well, remember when you were cheating on me on New Year's Eve? And
yeah,
you're like, well, no, I wasn't. We already talked about it. I wasn't. Whatever. Yes, you were. And it's like
yeah,
you already had a conversation where they already agreed you weren't cheating. Like,
yeah,
no, I wasn't flirting with somebody. And they say, no, yes, you were. Yes, you are. Don't do that to me. I know you're being flirtatious and cheating on me on New Year's Eve. And you're just like, oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah.
Drives you it will drive you to the point of just wanting to scream, because these people have such conviction, and they will just go round and round in circles and just go, no, you didn't. And you just got no comeback.
Timelines. Timelines are number one, man. Oh, no, this happened back then. Oh, no, it didn't. Yes, it did. You did this. Remember that? No, we already talked about it.
Yeah.
Or the best. Here's the best. Here's the best. Yes, I did something bad to you, but it's because of how you treated me. No, no, that was my reaction. You did something bad to me, so I got angry at you and I said or did something.
Yeah,
No, that's why I cheated on you. I cheated on you because you did that. Like, no,
yeah,
no, you cheated on me first, and then that was a reaction.
yeah. So
Timelines, guys, timelines. Everybody knows this.
the
Yeah.
whole, chicken and the egg thing, or
Mhm.
I cheated. Yeah, yeah, you got me. I cheated, but it was because you did not give me enough sex. How often do we hear that? If you were doing your duties, meanwhile, you're cooking them a beautiful dinners that they like every night, you're scrambling to meet all their needs, but instead of having sex every night, which maybe that's what they wanted, you're only giving it to them every second or third night. So they were forced to go and look for it elsewhere because you didn't fulfill your duties. So there's
That's
something
right.
wrong with you. Their behavior is not the issue. It's your reaction to their abuse, to their behavior. Yeah, that's
Or
gaslighting.
maybe we stopped, or maybe we stopped having sex because you were going out and cheating on me.
Yeah,
Which came first? Yeah, chicken or the egg. Yeah, right.
yeah.
What
Or
a horrible thing to be in an argument about in a relationship.
and another one I hear a lot is we stopped being intimate because you let yourself go. You got you put on weight, and just let yourself go. That's why I went and had an affair with this person. Look, they look after themselves, so they're triangulating, they're gaslighting, they're putting this person on a pedestal, they're putting you down about your appearance. So
Valuing you.
when you're in the midst of depression and anxiety, because you're being put down so much, it's highly likely that you're probably going to do what makes you feel good. And if food's a comfort thing, you probably put on more weight, and you won't feel like exercising. So it's just it's a lose-lose situation for victims.
Or maybe you'll go do what they're accusing you of.
Yeah,
I mean, well, that's the worst way to get somebody to do something they want to do. Like if a overweight person wants to lose weight, you keep telling them they're fat. That's not going to help them lose the weight.
you're sabotaging them, aren't you? You're
Yeah,
it's something they want to achieve, and you're putting roadblocks in the way. You're making sure they don't achieve it, so that you can gaslight them, and make them feel awful
right.
about themselves. just cruel.
Right.
Okay, we've got Tracy Burns here. Hi, Tracy. And we've got Melissa is here. Hi, Maria. Yep, you lose your inner voice. Absolutely, you do, Maria. You get worn down so far that you don't have the energy. Even if you do have an opinion, you doubt it. You know, if you've got the energy to have any kind of opinion, you doubt it anyway. Yeah, just quickly, David and I talked a few live streams ago, and it relates directly to the gaslighting, guys, about the frog in the boiling water, David. And it's just such, you know, a classic example, guys. You've heard, I don't know if you have heard the analogy, but, you know, if a frog jumps into a pot of boiling water, of course it's just going to jump straight out again because that water will burn him. And, you know, the water, the frog's just going to jump straight out. But if the frog jumps into a nice, tepid, cool bowl of water, it's probably going to sit there and think, wow, this is really cruisy, you know, and sit there and just, you know, and chill out as frogs do. And, you know, but if you slowly and just slowly, insidiously turn that water up, gradually, which is what happens with gaslighting. They start off light and then they start to up the ante, you know, until it's just full blown pathological lies. You know, that slowly turn up that water until it is boiling. That frog will basically boil to death because they don't have the energy to jump out because they've sat there until, you know, it's impossible for them to jump out. And that just explains, I think, perfectly the nature of gaslighting. You think, hey, what's going on here in the beginning? But it happens so subtly and insidiously. You don't know it's happening, and before you know it, you're reliant on your abuser to tell you what your reality is. Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Maria says it's just brainwashing, and narcs are masters of that. Yeah, absolutely. You said it, Maria. Jessica Holland's here. Hi, Jessica. I'm going to let you answer this one, David. Jessica says, so a narcissist doesn't really love you? Question mark. It's a horrible reality.
Yeah, probably not. I can't tell you, you know, how people feel, but supposedly narcissists don't really love. Love is more than just an emotion. Love is something you start. It's like a motor. You start it and you feed it, and it grows and gets bigger and gets going. They're not trying to do that. They're trying to be about them, all of them. That's all they can do.
Yeah. You can't love someone, Jessica, if you have no ability to empathize and think about how that person feels. It's impossible. You have to be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes to be able to love them. A narcissist is incapable of that. Like David just said, everything is about them. Everything. If they do something nice for you, it's because they're going to gain something out of that. Narcissists attach. They attach to you and they objectify you. Because they need you. They need you to sustain that their ego.
That's right. Yeah. They attach though. They'll get attached to you. And they use you to meet their needs, like Nova said. So it's emotional needs. So they might be nice. They might be sweet sometimes. But that's usually the best way to get someone to do what they want, right? If I'm sweet and nice to you, maybe you'll give me what I want. So they'll do that, sure. But like I said, they get attached. So that's why they don't break off the relationship, even if they don't love you. You know, that's why they go and be with other people, and then they come back to you. They don't leave you alone and keep harassing you. They're still attached to you.
Yeah. You are still, if they're there, you are still giving them narcissistic supply, which they gain through gaslighting you. It's one of the hardest things to come to terms with, Jessica, is the fact that it's not you. It's got nothing to do with you, but it's really impossible for these disordered people to love, because abuse is not love. So you're the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing that you see all the time. The Dr. Jekyll, I think, is the nice one, is the real good one. That is not real. The person who abuses you and rages at you, that's the insecure true self that you are seeing when they're doing this. The person, the false mask that they show when they're, love bombing you, and they show to everyone else outside the intimate relationship, that's not real. So yeah, someone who abuses you doesn't love you, and a toxic, disordered person is incapable of it. Yeah. Okay, we've got Catherine Jane Walker says, where did you go, Catherine? They keep floating away. Too many. I'll get back to you. Hi, Catherine. We've got Jenny Cookson here. Hi, Jenny. Can a narcissist be healed from narcissism? There has to be something that can be done to get rid of narcissism. I wish. Can a narcissist, wouldn't it be good, if you could vaccinate when they're like babies, narcissist vaccination that just got rid of it, the plague, so it never struck us at any time. Can they be healed? No. I'm just going to say it. No. Research says that if they engage in therapy for a long, long time, and and they go through all these different types of strategies with a therapist who knows implicitly about disorders, that they can make small changes. But the reason I say no to that is because to be able to change and to be able to sustain change, you have to admit that you have a problem. Now, a narcissist does not go to therapy seeking help for their narcissism. A narcissist will go, if they're court-ordered, or they'll go, to maybe about their depression or their anxiety, or simply to get narcissistic supply from, the therapist. But they don't go to therapy to get help for their narcissism, because they don't think there's anything wrong with the fact that, they're gaslighting and projecting and abusing others, because they think that everyone else thinks the same way that they do. That they are only personality disordered by contrast to us. Okay, I guess we use people who don't abuse as a tool of contrast. Okay, so they are disordered by way of contrast to someone who does have empathy. They actually think that they're not disordered. They think there's something wrong with everyone else. So yeah, can they get help? The chances are extremely slim, and you have to be, awareness is the first key to change, and they will never ever have the ability to self-reflect and recognize that they have a problem.
Yeah.
So
that's a part of the disorder.
Yeah.
Part of the disorder. You can't look at yourself. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
I've seen some narcissists change. They even say that empathy can be taught. I don't know. But what I tell every abuser or every person that's been abused by a narcissist, I will tell you they will not change, because it doesn't matter. Once you've been abused, that relationship is over.
Yeah. No, that's why if you find yourself in a relationship with a narcissist, guys, or who you believe to be a narcissist, through your research, run, because it is only going to end in pain for you. They don't change, and the likelihood of them getting help and for their narcissism is 1 in a million. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're just gonna get on that. You're gonna get on that hamster wheel. If they want to keep the relationship, okay, I'll go to counseling. And then they go there and they lie, they manipulate, or they're good for a month or whatever, and it's just a cycle. It keeps repeating itself. Yeah, over and over and over again.
Yeah. Okay, we got Fenella here. Hi, Fenella. Egan says, have you known if any couples where the victims end up become a nut too to cope? I didn't quite understand your question there, Fenella. Maybe you'd be able to put it down again, and then
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
I got it. She wants to know is can one of us, a person who's been abused by narcissists, can they end up becoming a narcissist after the relationship?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
No.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, your answer is no.
Yeah.
You're asking about the way you feel and some of the behaviors you're not proud of, things like this. But
Yeah.
no, that's not how we become narcissists. Narcissism is a developmental problem. It happens in childhood, starts in childhood.
Yeah. We hear that a lot, Vanilla, where people, yeah, it's so common, and I'm sure everyone out there maybe has thought the same thing. Am I the narcissist? When you come out of these relationships, don't they, David? Because you've had to survive in that war zone, and to survive, you can't take a pea shooter to a gunfight. You've got to, you start to absorb some of their traits to survive, and you pick up little things that they do simply because you have to survive in that war zone. When you come out of these, you look back at your behavior because you can self-reflect and you can go, oh, I'm not proud of that. And yet, am I the narcissist? That's you self-reflecting, which is the narcissist can't do. That self-reflection is an absolute key indicator that you're not one.
And being a victim of emotional abuse really, really makes you have black and white thinking. So is he the narcissist or am I? It's like he's a narcissist. It has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. You could be, but he is or he isn't. You are or you are not. It has nothing to do with each other. Yeah, it's not
right.
Black and white, guys.
You can't
People act narcissistic sometimes, or everyone acts somewhat narcissistic sometime in their life. And if you don't believe me, then I'll tell you, you're a narcissist when you're a little child. How's that?
Yeah.
At some point, we're all kind of narcissists, and we develop things later that make us not narcissists. So, yeah. And I mean, that's a really good example. Is narcissists don't self-reflect. Narcissists don't ask this question. They don't care.
Yeah. I just saw a question float away again. Misty's brought up a good point, David. She brought up the analogy of fleas. And that's when you lie down with a dog, you get fleas. So we call these traits that you pick up from the narcissist, we call them picking up fleas. I guess it's just an analogy so you can relate. When a dog picks up fleas, because when you're in these relationships, you pick up certain little things, like you do, I guess, in any relationship. Pick up little idiosyncrasies of your partner, but these obviously aren't. These are negative traits that you've picked up. But when you self-reflect, that's when you can go, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. I was not proud of myself, and you can get rid of those fleas. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Or when the victim, like the video we did, when the victim becomes the abuser. It's bad behavior, not acceptable, but it doesn't mean you're a narcissist.
Catherine says, he showed me up in a restaurant, but I kept my cool in front of people till later when we were alone. Yeah, good for you, Catherine. Sorry, I missed your question before, Catherine Jane Walker. Of course. To do it in front of an audience, to provoke you and bait you, that it wouldn't surprise me if you got the camera out. It's a way of getting validation for their abuse. They're abusing you covertly, but what everyone else is seeing, that dog whistle thing, it's only you can hear the abuse. They are seeing you react. So you didn't give him that satisfaction that night. You waited till after so that he didn't have an audience. So yeah, I'm really proud of you. That means you're aware of when he's gaslighting you. Yeah. Mark says, I left 15 months ago in a mess. Thanks to David and Nova, I sit and smile when I hear these videos now and feel lucky. Oh, Mark, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, that David and I are, making a difference, and that you've got that strength now to smile, and that you've gotten out of that abusive relationship. So yeah, thank you so much for those kind words.
That's great, Mark. Good for you.
Yeah. Who else have we got? Leola May is here. Hi, Leola. That's exactly what my ex did. Push and poke until I reacted. Follow me if I tried to get away. Nope. The worst thing he did was kidnap my youngest children The day after my mum's funeral, that's all I can see, Leola. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Yeah, follow you round. Yeah, how common is that, David? To follow you around, trying to provoke you, even when you're trying to walk away.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I'm glad you brought up dog whistling. It's that hidden abuse that only you two know what's going on, or the little key words that irritate you, or and I say it to you, or I just look across the room and give you the look that
Yeah,
makes you just so angry inside, or I do something I know you really, really hate, and I do it when you're watching in a group or a crowded room. You're not going to say anything. You're not going to do anything there. And if you do, you're crazy. Look,
yeah,
she's crazy. Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't do anything. I'm just talking to you, right? I didn't do anything. Yeah.
yeah. Disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Disgusting.
classic. It is disgusting. A classic gaslighting ploy, Leola, following you around, provoking you, trying to goad you. It's the equivalent of saying, come on, hit me. Following you around when you're trying to ignore them, trying to get a reaction out of you. And some abusers do say that. They say, you're walking away. You must have done something wrong if you're not prepared to talk to me, because of course when they want to talk, it's a different issue. But it's all about provoking you and getting a reaction so that you will turn around and hopefully explode at them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
How long can you sit here and take this? How long? Not long. Trust me, you're gonna get mad. Yeah.
Uh, okay. Donna Brooke is here. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Why do some narcissists not come back? Okay. Why are you meaning? Why do some narcissists not come back to hoover you? Okay. Donna, I guess it depends on the narcissistic supply they're getting. If they've got a great source going, when they've discarded you and they've gotten rid of you, most narcissists do come back, even if it's 10, 20 years down the track. So never discount the fact that they will come back and hoover you at some stage when they are short on supply. But that's what it's all about. It's about supply. So if they don't come back, then I'm assuming they've got some fantastic source of energy that's going on for them where they don't need your energy. But rest assured, if they get bored or if they're running low on supply, they will be back. But it depends on the source. Yeah, if they run out, they come back.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I've heard of almost 30 years they came back.
Yeah.
So don't say never.
Yeah. Don't ever say never. Exactly right. Okay, we might just answer a couple more, guys, before we wrap it up. We've got Renee McLean here. Hi, Renee. We've got Aletha here. Hi, Aletha. Okay, we've got Marguerite Cambray Hebert. I think that's he said. Textbook word for word. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it, Marguerite? Tony Spinks is there. Hi, Tony. Who else haven't we said hi to? We've got Gina Gedge there. I hope that's how you pronounce it, Gina. Okay. Jessica says, thank you kindly to you both. Our pleasure. Colleen's there. She says, they think obsession is love because they're self-obsessed. If you aren't as well, then they don't feel what they call loved. It's their definition of loved. Very confused. Yeah. Oh, but they think they love you. Yeah. They throw the word a lot around, don't they, David?
Oh yeah, so easy. I love you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll tell. I mean, they'll tell you 20 times, 25 times a day. I love you. 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 It means
Yeah.
nothing.
It's words. It's manipulation. But what they love is what you give to them. They love you reflecting back to them how amazing they are. They love the way you make them feel about themselves. That's what they love. They don't love you and all your little quirks and idiosyncrasies. Yeah, absolutely. Patty's here. Patty says his definition of empathy is tough love. Yeah, I would imagine. Mel Lloyd says, my ex is to have the kids at Christmas for 3 weeks. How do I follow court orders if he refuses to follow them? I'm scared about approaching him again. David, did you want to respond to that?
Is she saying that he's not following court orders?
Yeah, my ex is to have the kids at Christmas for 3 weeks. How do I follow court orders if he refuses to follow them? Because she's scared to approach him again. So he's not following them, she is.
And that's right. You keep following them and you don't stop following them just because he isn't. So we mark these things down, we record them, we document them, but talk to your lawyer. Your lawyer knows how to handle things like this, okay? Very important. Talk to your lawyer, tell your lawyer.
Yeah,
that's what he's there for. He's fighting for this for you.
Yeah, document.
It's his job.
Document, Mel. Unfortunately, they do this. They do this just to to peeve you, to get you to react, to get you to approach them. So put in for contravention of orders. I know that it takes a while to get this stuff into court, and it's really, really frustrating. But unfortunately, this is one of the things that sucks, about being in a relationship with a narcissist, is that you can follow all the rules, but they won't. But the only thing you've got really is the law. So keep documenting and put in for contravention of those orders, and hopefully, that your contraventions will be taken seriously if he keeps on doing it. Yeah.
Don't react to him at all. Do nothing to him. Nothing.
Yeah. No, that's why he doesn't. Yeah, don't react.
Don't say a word.
Yeah. Okay. One more. Let's find one more question. Tammy Petty Brielt is here. Hi, Tammy. Tammy says, how do you know if they're a narcissist? Okay. Right. Narcissism runs on a spectrum, Tammy. So you can't just go and diagnose. You have to, I guess, spend a little bit of time around a person to, are you being abused by them? Are they toxic? Are they making you feel really bad about yourself? Are you questioning your reality? Are you starting to think that you're going crazy around this person? Are you catching them out on lies all the time? As I said, the spectrum, we like David said before, we all have narcissism. We all have a degree of healthy narcissism, which makes us competitive, what makes us want to do well at things and get up and have a shower, put makeup on, or whatever we do that makes us feel good. But, the further you go along the spectrum is the more narcissistic traits you have, and you can research these according to the DSM, then the further you are along the spectrum. People who are, excuse me, full-blown NPD are right up this end of the spectrum, and they pretty much have every single trait that you find in the DSM. The most defining traits are complete, utter lack of empathy and remorse. They don't care about hurting you. In fact, they enjoy it because it boosts their ego. So how do you know? Spend some time with that person and you'll start researching, and then like everyone else, I think you'll have like a light bulb moment.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, the traits are listed for you, and they're pretty profound. I mean, most of us don't have these huge false egos or a massive sense of entitlement or for no reason, we don't have this. And you're right, there's only a certain amount of criteria you need, but the gap that I've noticed is so big. Narcissists seem to have almost all of them, and most of us have none or one. Yeah,
exactly. So just research, Tammy, and you'll like everyone else here, I think nearly everyone who works out they've been in a relationship with a narcissist has that light bulb moment. They know something's off. There's something off in the relationship. and they go and start researching, and then they just go, they put two, the light bulb comes on, and they just go, oh my goodness, you know, whatever they say, probably a lot worse than that. I've been with a narcissist.
It's a real hard thing to see in your own life with people close to you. It's much harder. Even though you know them a lot more, it's harder because of the gaslighting. It's because they've smiled. They've been nice. They said, I love you. They've given you a gift last Christmas. All these things you believe cancels out the bad things, and it doesn't. The bad things, if they're there, they're there.
That's the thing, isn't it, David? It's by the time, you know, it's like the frog in the boiling water. By the time you think, oh, I might need to jump ship here, you know, something's really off here, you are so worn down by the gaslighting. When you do start researching, if you don't have the support and you're totally isolated, it is incredibly difficult to get out because of the gaslighting. It's like this, you know, never-ending circle, like the hamster, you know, on the wheel. You can't get off.
That's right. And if you're going to leave me because of it, then I'll take you out to dinner. We'll go on a nice date.
Yeah, yeah. And then the cognitive dissonance comes in, doesn't it? Like, oh, well, yeah, maybe they're not so bad. You know, that you know, I'm not going to believe they're an abuser anymore. No, they've been abusing you for years and years and years and cheating on you for years because they took you out to dinner. You know, maybe I am overreacting because they've been so nice to me tonight, and just the confusion this creates, through the gaslighting.
He's helped my family. He pays the rent. He works hard. I mean, I come up all kinds of excuses people give to why they are not a narcissist, even though they've done all 9 criteria. They fit all, you know, but they're also this. Well, they don't cancel each other out, guys. You know.
That's really good point. That the abuse cancels out that good stuff, guys. You know, and that's something I think we don't talk about often enough, David, is that they do good things. You know, I knew of one narcissist who went all out to, you know, move his wife's family, you know, out of their house, and, you know, went and picked up all their furniture and was just on beck and call all the time. But the other things that he was doing fitted into every single, you know, category that defined him as full-blown NPD. But the family thought he was wonderful because he was, you know, helping them to move house and was always there for them, you know, to fix anything, fix light bulbs or whatever it is. So it's really hard for the victim to come up against that. And narcissists do good things. Sometimes it's about the motivation behind their behavior. Are they doing it for you, or are they doing it for themselves?
That's right. Ted Bundy used to volunteer his time.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Ted Bundy. Yeah, he used to work at a volunteer place and help people for free. That's what he used to do.
Yeah.
He also murdered people behind closed doors.
Yeah. And one does not, the abuse cancels out the other, doesn't it? You know, you can't say, well, you know, he volunteered at a home. He actually was a pretty good guy some of the time. No, when you're a mass murderer, you're a very bad person. You know, it's one doesn't make up for the other. Yeah.
That's
so
right.
Anyway, did you have anything more that you wanted to say, David? Any other last minute things on gaslighting?
I kind of drill this home a lot, and I think it's important. If you guys have been victims of gaslighting for years, really, or at least maybe take a look at your childhood. Maybe you were manipulated, gaslit, or maybe just neglected as a child. That's usually a form of, or something that shows me that you might have been neglected as a child, because that's what this is all about. Support, having people telling you you're a good person, not a bad person. If you have someone telling you you're bad, or you're wrong, you're crazy, you don't know, you're stupid, you have no chance in life. If your parents did that to you, they sabotaged you, you know? So it's something to look at. It's something to realize if I've been a victim of this for a long time, even a short time, there may be a reason. You may have experienced this in your childhood, and something to look at, something to take care of.
Yeah, something to work through. Absolutely. Okay. All right, guys. Look, I just wanted to apologise again. There were so many questions tonight, and they're just they'd float away before I even got a chance to finish them. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I do apologise if David and I didn't get around to answering your questions or saying hi. But just, yeah, still comment below, still talk to each other. And it's a really good excuse to keep joining in Tuesday nights for the live streams. David, guys, I just wanted to remind you to join, to subscribe to David's very, very informative YouTube channel, which is called Damar's Coaching. David regularly puts out videos, so please subscribe to that. Please subscribe to mine, Brighter Outlook Counselling Service. I've been a bit slack lately, but promise to get back on board and put some more stuff out there. Certainly, David will have this on his YouTube channel. So, yeah.
Yeah, and, thank you. Thank you very much for having me on again, and thank you guys for tuning in. And my supporters, go to Nova's channel. She's got a great Facebook page and YouTube channel. She just started her YouTube channel, so let's help her get it going. Brighter Outlook Counseling Service. Go check it out, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me again. I always enjoy this.
Thanks, David. Thank you so much for staying up till the wee hours in Las Vegas and tuning in live. It's been awesome to have you as usual. So you can go and get some sleep now. And yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. David's here every second week, guys. So we'll see you then.
Great. Bye, guys. Thank you.
See you, David. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Love having David here. So yeah, thank you, David, if you're still watching. Okay, guys, I'm going to just remind I can share. Yeah, just trying to raise awareness, and you can be part of that change to help David and I raise awareness around narcissistic abuse. So yeah, please share so we can get the word out. If you, for those of you who don't know, maybe it's your first time here tonight, I'm a counsellor on the north side of Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. I speak to people all over the world via Skype to counsel them in private sessions. So if you would like to have a private one-on-one with me, I would absolutely love to be able to support you in your healing from this toxic narcissistic abuse. So please just inbox me here, and yeah, I will get back to you ASAP, and I'd love to be able to help you. Okay, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to let everyone know who you think might benefit from tonight. You never know who's going through this, who doesn't know. We know how, you know, insidious gaslighting is. It's such an important concept to kind of understand and get your head around when you're in these relationships. So if you think someone might benefit from this, please tell them about the live streams. They're on every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Brisbane time. So obviously you'll have to adjust for the time zone in your country or your state, but 7 p.m. Brisbane time every Tuesday night. And yeah, just love answering your questions and engaging with you. It's fantastic. Okay, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your night or day, wherever you are in the world. And please take care. Remember your worth, as always, and then add tax. Bye, everyone.